Okay, here is my explanation for this question. The number 14 question says, suppose a molecule contains two bonds around the same atom, and let me see, okay, this is the central atom, and we have two bonds, right? And both bonds, those were polar. So there is a difference in polarity between these two. So the positive side is this one, and the negative side will be the other atoms. Okay, so we have a polar bond between these two and a polar bond between these two, right? What will the angle between those two bonds need to be to form a molecule that we consider a non-polar? So I will say the angle has to be 180, because if you have an angle less than that, for instance, like this, okay, let me go back for a moment. If you have an angle, let's say this one here, that will be less than 180, probably looks like to me probably 90 or even more than that. So let's say this is a 90 degree. If you have a 90-degree angle, this molecule will be polar because you will have a negative side at the bottom. So on top will be positive and on the bottom will be negative. So the only way you can neutralize the two negative signs is making a linear molecule like the one you have here, and that will make the molecule completely non-polar. If I split the molecule in half, this side will be negative and the other side will be negative. So that would be my explanation or answer to the first question. Okay, the next one asking similar question, and they say on the next one, suppose a molecule contains four identical bonds. So we have a central something. I will write N, but can be a metal or something else, or can be also non-metal. And they have four identical bonds too. And they say all the bonds are polar, so they are different in electronegativity. So this one is a negative relative with some density negative. This one will be with positive density, negative, negative, and negative, right? What will be the angle between any of the four bonds that they need to form? Okay, can be in the plane like a square, look like a square, or also can be tetrahedral, and that will be the two shades that will make the molecule non-polar. Because if I split the molecule in half, I have negative charge on top, negative charge at the bottom, and if I split the molecule, I can make a symmetrical side. It will have negative on the side and negative. So even though the bond is polar, overall the whole molecule can be non-polar based on the position of the less or the more electronegative element that I would call X. And if a rectangular shape like a 90-degree will be a non-polar molecule, but if I have tetrahedral like this one, the angle will be 120, and that will be also non-polar. Next, if a molecule contains only one polar like this, and no long and there is no lone pair, if there is any arrangement that will make the molecule non-polar, I say no, because if they have one polar bond, this one is a positive one, and this one is the negative side. There is a polarity here, and that will mean that there is no way we can arrange the molecule that will make the molecule non-polar. Always would be a those are my answers to your question. Hopefully, you get an idea how to answer them. Thank you for watching and see you next